Salam alaikum. How you guys doing? I pray you guys are having a great day. Blessings. You know me, like always. Making the donuts, 65 degrees in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And nothing, just another day, another dollar, guys and girls. I just came, like always, just to bring a little topic up. And this is something that some practitioners do and some don't. When I say practitioners, elders, they have their own monanzos and stuff like that. And this thing is, and it's sometimes there's sometimes like a back and forth or a misunderstanding or some type of, some take it to the level as like almost like drama or whatever. But I don't think it's such a big deal to make of it, but I guess some do. And this situation is, if does the Tata Nkisi or Yaya, well, let's say Tata Nganga or Yaya Nganga, do they have to take those godsons or goddaughters that are going to get initiated, or potential godsons or goddaughters that they're going to have initiation done in Nkimba, rayamiento, done on them, do they have to go through a misa espiritual first? Give me 1 second, guys. I know for my English-speaking audience, you guys should know what a misa espiritual is. It's a spiritual mass that they do, not a church. A spiritual mass by spiritists or a spiritist. And usually, there are different reasons why these things are done. But for what I know, when you go to Nkisi right? And some of these ramas require a spiritual mass, is what I hear. I mean, this is what I have heard, because I myself do not practice this. I do not require my potential godchildren to go to a spiritual mass. If they want to, that's something that I don't frown upon. I'm all for it. I don't have nothing against it. But I do not require that in my munanzo. It's not required to do that. Now, for what I have heard and hear, you should go get a spiritual mass before you get initiated to confirm what the muerto from the Nganga said about you needing either needing initiation or having to get initiated, or that you have been accepted in the rama, let's say in the tribe. Because you got to remember, the initiation for us, especially the Ngayo initiations, it's more for you so you could be part of the community. You understand? There are many people out here that come into initiations and they don't know nothing about Palo. Like, they just want to be part of the tradition, as a whole. They like it, they like the people, they like what goes on, and they want to be a part of it. So if the Nganga gives license, then we initiate them as an Ngayo. If so, it chooses that, So, when I hear this phrase, they have to go to have a spiritual mass or a misa espiritual before they get initiated, meaning they've already been given license, right, to get initiated into Palo or in Nkisi, whichever way you want to call it. But before they get initiated, they have to go to do a mesa blanca or go to a spiritist, right, for a misa, a mass, spiritual mass. When I hear that they say to confirm with that espiritista or those spirits that are going to come down through that espiritista that they need to get initiated. That's where I have a little, a little problem with. Like I said, I don't have no problem with you wanting to get a spiritual mass before, but not in the sense that to confirm what my Nganga said. Give me 1 second. And the reason why I say that is for the simple fact is, when you go to a Espiritista, they're dealing with spirits. When you go to a Palo, they're dealing with spirits. So, if my Nganga, my spirit, says they are welcomed for whatever reason it may be, whatever situation or whatever reason, why do I gotta take them to get confirmation from a misa, from either another spirit or other spirituality to say, yeah, go ahead, what that Nganga said is true, what that spirit said is true, or whatever. For me, it doesn't work like that. Because at the end of the day, we're dealing with spirits. And like I said before, not everyone that comes to get initiated is because they have a problem or a situation. We're not talking about if they have a path. See, the first thing that we ask the Nganga is one of the first things that we don't ask the Nganga is, we don't ask for a path if the person has a path in Palo. We don't ask that. Because a lot of people, when they say path, they're referring to an Nsila Congo. You understand? We don't ask them, hey, do they got an Nsila or do they got a path in this tradition? That's not what I do. And a lot of people, like I said, want to be part of a community. They like, what they see or they have heard or read, but they really don't know nothing about it and all that. But they'll learn, down the line, little things in there. And some people don't want to practice it. Some people just want to get initiated because they want to either complete a step in their life that they feel as though that they have to do before they jump into another land. Meaning that they're not going to practice Palo. Now, if you go to a misa first, before coming into Palo, or going to a palero, you go to a misa, and over there they say, listen, you have to, you either have a spiritual, a Congo spirit, or you have an ancestor that practiced Palo and Kisimalongo when they were alive, or there's some spirits here that are on your spiritual quadrant, your spiritual quadro, right? On your spiritual, in your spiritual court. They need you to pass through that land first to give them recognition. And that's a different story. But not to confirm what Mayankisi said. You're getting it confirmed by Mesa Blanca Spiritus, because you have to think about it. You have to think about it. If you go to an Nkisimalonga practitioner and they don't take their gotcha to Mesa Blanca, to do Mesa Blanca first to a spiritist, first for a spiritual mass, and that Nganga accepts that person, but they tell you, oh, he had to go first or she had to go first to a spiritist to make sure that what your spirit said is correct, then what you're saying about your spirit, what you're saying about the spiritual thing, what you're saying about your Nganga, like, listen, like, pay attention. What you're saying about your Nganga. Do you have a spirit there in the Nganga? Or don't you have a spirit there in the Nganga? Do you trust in what your Nganga says, or don't you trust in what your Nganga says? Do you have that full how can I tell you, that full certainty that conviction that what your Nganga say goes, or don't you have it? Because at the end of the day, we still working with spirits. Wouldn't the Nganga say, no, they gotta go they gotta do a spiritual mass, because over there they have to complete something first, and then they could come here. Now, if you go to a spiritual mass way before you even look for anyone, because you want to see if you want to be part of a community, or come into Palo for whatever reason it may be, if you go to a spiritual mass, then you win. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm of the understanding that there are certain things that you cannot deviate from, and there are certain things that you cannot misunderstand. In other words, let's say I go to a misa, and in that misa, a spirit comes and tells me that don't get initiated into Nkimba. Why? My next question is why? Why not? Give me 1 second. Why not? Because Palo is another form of spirituality. You understand? And I don't believe that I could tell a person, because I practice Palo, my Nganga said don't practice, don't go into Ocha. My Nganga said don't go to Ifa. Do you understand what I mean? Like who am I to tell a person they can't go to those lands?
Say a command or say help.
I'm sorry, guys. Something here. I turned something on. I hit the horn and something turned.
Speech session ended. Goodbye.
So, you know, I don't get into these things when it has to do with this. Oh, they got to do this first. Oh, no, you're not allowed to go into that. Oh, no, you're prohibited to. No. I don't do none of that. I rely on what my Nkisi tells me. Whatever my Nkisi tells me, that's what I go for. That's it. I don't do nothing else. If the Nkisi says yes, they could get initiated, then we look to see if they have a path. If they have an Nsila. And what is that Nsila? And if that Nsila that they carry, they have with them, which is them, if that Nsila is beneficial for them to keep living that, or is it beneficial to change it for some reason or the other, because maybe that path that they walk in is not the path that they should be walking on, due to the fact of how they living and the way they are and the things they do and so forth. There's a lot of things. So again, I'm not against those who want to get a misa done, but get it done if you like, to find out if you have other spiritual family members, ancestors, other spiritualities that are walking with you that you don't know. But I cannot accept that you're going to a spiritist so the spiritist could give you the okay after my Nkisi said you have license to get initiated here. Like, in other words, for that spiritist, whatever spirit comes down, whatever, to say, yeah, they need initiation. Oh yeah, it's fine. What that muerto said is true. No, that I don't. I just can't perceive it, and I don't agree upon that. But like I said, everybody's entitled to agree and to disagree, and this is the beautiful thing about us having free speech and having our own minds and our own ways, that we are able to agree to disagree. Simple as that. That's humanity, is like that. But once again, there's nothing wrong, what I say, if you want to have una misa espiritual before you get initiated. There's no problem with that. The only problem that I have is if you're going to confirm what my muerto said for my nganga about you getting initiated. That's where I have the problem. That's why I say, nope, that cannot be. Because remember, we're dealing with Enfumbe Bacheche. And in Enfumbe, it's a spirit. So, I just wanted to make this short video. Hope you guys, I haven't made, any videos on any topics really. Just been talking a little bit of basura, here and there, because, taking a break, and trying to do other things. And, I opened up that group. You guys have access to that group, to the Spiritual Family group on WhatsApp. Those who haven't joined, they want to join, you send me your information, your phone number through an email. My email is in the description, and I'll put you in that chat. Whether you like it, you don't like it, you can always go in and you can always leave. There are a lot of people there from different type of traditions and customs, and even people that don't practice anything. There are people there just there investigating and hearing and stuff. They don't say anything, but that's life. I have made it open for everybody, and that's what we got to deal with. We all keep it respectful. We keep it, we don't cross lines. And that's the main beauty about it, that people don't have to agree on everything, but don't have to be enemies or make enemies because of that. That's the beauty. Hope you guys have a great day. Be blessed. And this is for all creeds, all people. There's no bosses in that group. Nobody is the boss. You understand? We all have a word and a say in that group. It's open for us all to learn, to maybe find other practitioners from other traditions where we could get the help that we need and what we're looking for. So it's just something made out of kindness, something that I thought about, and I said, let's go with it. And it's open. Tata Azaria has put many people in the group, but the great majority, a lot. He had a lot of people. Some people have left. It's fine. The group is not made for everyone. The group, we're not there talking 24/7, but here now and then it gets juicy. You understand? And if you're a person that likes spirituality in a whole, no matter if it's ATR or other traditions, it's a good place to be at, because you'll hear and you'll be able to speak with others that have other understandings and other traditions. And why not learn? You understand? Remember, don't fill that cup. Leave a little bit of that cup. Empty that cup a little bit, for you can receive a little bit more. Always be open-minded, be kind, be blessed, and be safe, guys. Bye-bye.